Thanks to Diamond Select Toys for sending this guy out. If you're looking to pick it up, check out links in the description below to their website or some retailers. Kaiju, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It is Steven here, and I am back with another Pacific Rim review. This time from Pacific Rim Uprising, we are taking a look today at Diamond Select Toys' toys? I don't know how that would work. Anyway, we're taking a look at Hakuja here. This is the first true blue kaiju action figure from DST, and I do have to say some folks have been looking forward to this, especially when the competition out there has been about similar price, and they're just strictly soft vinyl. But this figure here promises not only articulation, but it's big and it's bulky. Considering the fact that Diamond doesn't have any more kaiju planned, is it worth getting this maybe one and done figure? Well, let's take a look to see whether or not it's worth adding into your collection. Let me go ahead and get my critiques of how this figure looks right out of the way, so this way we can have a nice smooth sailing section for the sculpt and paint on this figure. The only critiques that I have is that the yellow stripes throughout Hakuja, honestly, they don't look like they blend in that well. And then there would be the blue underneath, which is kind of a striking blue. It almost sticks out and not in the best way possible. That is just a personal opinion of my own. That being said, the rest of this figure looks fantastic. And I do have to say it does beat out the competition a little bit in this department. And by a little bit, I mean a whole heck of a lot. Why is that? Well, when you get up close and personal with this vinyl kaiju, is it really truly vinyl? We're going to take a look at that in a second. We notice a whole bunch of smaller details that simply can only be captured at this larger size. That being said, when we take a look at the head, there are plenty of things going on here. The nice sort of blade-ish, axe-ish, hammerhead-ish, I don't know what you would call that, head of Hakuja houses plenty of details, whether or not they're going to be small, beady blue eyes, or they're going to have a whole bunch of teeth popping out where they shouldn't be because they should be in the mouth, but it's a kaiju. A whole bunch of weird things going on here. We have sharp mandibles, I think those might be. The jaw, it's pretty cool. Yeah, details on the tongue. The head goes the extra mile here. We do have the shell on the back as well. At least I think that's a shell, which is going to have a whole bunch of bumps and ridges and grooves and whatnot. Very cool looking there. The blue spray used for Hakuja looks nice as well. Not only is it blended in well, but it helps to highlight some of the sculpt on this figure. The arms and the legs, whatever you would prefer to call them, of Hakuja also feature fantastic detailing, and the claws look nice as well, with a mix of the brown, red, plastic, and paint, along with some blue and yellow highlights. Very cool. Again, brings out the details. The underbelly of Hakuja does feature that blue paint application that I was talking about earlier. Kind of looks like a lightning bolt of some sort, or maybe wood burning. Yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. It's very jagged and rigid and awesome looking. But I think the actual application of that blue, it's a little out there. Last up, we do have that tail that is rounded and circles Hakuja, and there is a nice blade point to it. So overall, I do think that the sculpt on this thing is great, but the paint application, I have a couple of small problems with, and I do believe that a couple of other folks, they might not like this, that, or the other about the paint. So I think in sum, the sculpt is excellent. 2 big thumbs up to either Gentle Giant Studios or Big Shot Toy Works. I've seen both credited to the sculpt of this guy, but the paint, I think it could be stepped up a little bit. When Hakuja was originally solicited and all of that fun stuff, it was solicited as a vinyl figure. It is still even listed as such. Now, to kaiju collectors, there is a connotation that we will have a vinyl figure such as the Bandai Gomez here, where we're going to have basic swivels and whatnot, and that's it for the articulation. That is sort of not quite true here for Hakuja. Why is that? Well, for a vinyl figure, the main body is vinyl, but don't worry, we get plenty of points of articulation. You can see here that I'm actually like squishing them. Yeah, so the main body is vinyl. However, vinyl body, hard plastic limbs and joints. Do they mesh well? Well, let's take a look. For the jaw, it opens and closes on a hinge, so we just have that straightforward movement. And when I say close, that's about as far closed as it will go, and open about that far. The reason why I say it closes up about that far is that tongue is not movable, which means Hakuja can never truly close its mouth, but yeah, so he's kind of always going to look like a pretty happy dog. Isn't that cute? Yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. For the neck, initially I thought it was a swivel. This is actually my third take here, but guess what? That's a ball joint, kids. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was not expecting that, and I thought it was just a swivel to begin with, but it is not. It is a ball joint. That is a pleasant surprise. Now, we're going to move on to the main arms here, which they are on swivels, as you can see here. And you're already starting to see one of the issues with the hard plastic limbs and the soft vinyl body. Anyway, so these are on swivels. And then there is a hinge, which allows you to move Hakuja's arms out like so. Isn't that cool? Then there are swivels at the elbows. So this way we can spin the arm around just like that as well. Now, as you can hear, this is a squeaky figure. Some joints are really tight, so you just got to be careful with them when you're moving stuff around. Now, it looks like there's a joint here for the wrists, but I cannot safely get that to move. Let's try again. Yeah, you can see it kind of twist, and then it goes back to the default. So if that is a joint, it's super tight, and I don't feel comfortable cracking that joint open, so to speak. Now, when we have the center set of legs, kind of loose here at the knees, but they do have a swivel at the base of the body. So this way you can spin them around about that far. We do have the swivel here. And then for the ankle here, if you will, those are on swivels as well. So that's pretty cool. Same mechanics for the hindmost legs. Swivel where they plug into the body, swivel at the knee, and then a swivel for the ankle area. Now, the issue, if you haven't quite picked up on it yet, is that since Hakuja is a soft vinyl body and the limbs are hard plastic, yeah, they're going to loosen up. You can already see based on this leg over here. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, but another thing about this figure is it's kind of a balancing act, so once you get everything lined up correctly, then, if it dips down a little bit, it'll be okay. Oh, there's one more point of articulation, the tail. It is on a swivel, so this way you can get some movement out of it. Nothing over the top, but if you don't like that pose, or the tail where he's curling around himself like that, you can get it to curl upwards. And I think that's one of the critiques about this is that we have the default being the curl around instead of the curl up, which I think looks nicer for Hakuja, but that is not the point of this section. It's just to go over the articulation. So overall, Hakuja does have some pretty nifty points of articulation, all swivels essentially, but maybe we could have used a small ab crunch here. I think that would have been fun. So if you need articulated kaiju, then you know what? Congratulations. This should fill your basic needs. Thumbs up. Unfortunately, Hakuja does not come with any accessories. I just say unfortunately because it's always cool when we get more stuff for our buck, right? Right. Anyway, here is the size comparison to sort of round out this review so you can see this is one big figure. Basically, this is going to be about the size of the NECA Kaiju previously released, and since this is the smallest of the three main Kaiju we see in Uprising, that is definitely saying something should DST decide to go back and make more in-scale Kaiju from Uprising. Very, very cool. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. This figure looks really nice with only a couple of small issues. The articulation, I'm only really worried for in the long haul, whether it's going to be 5 or 10 years down the line, how well the joints are going to hold up. And the sizing is great. Nicely in scale with the Jaegers from Diamond Select Toys. And you know what? If you really wanted this to ravage maybe your robot spirits Jaegers, you can do that as well. Remember, they did army build the Kaiju in the Antiverse. So, long story short, for about $45, that's the MSRP on the invoice I got with this guy. Hakuja looks great and is absolutely worth the money. The other Hakuja figure made by another company, yeah, this kind of puts things into perspective. Again, it's super unfortunate that as of right now, this looks to be the only Kaiju figure made by Diamond Select Toys in the Pacific Rim 2 stuff, but you know what? If this is the only one we're going to get, I'm going to have to say, I think they did a pretty solid job. For $45, this will blend in well with your other Kaiju, and you'll be happy. Well, folks, that's the end of this review. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow me on social media to catch more behind-the-scenes shenanigans and updates. The end card should be popping up now with more hand-selected STR goodness for you to watch, so check out some of those videos. Be sure to check the description, too, to see where you can buy this figure or others like it, and some cool links, like the credits for this video, and other ways you can help out the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.